keep it 100 because it's time for Hubb's Huddle Podcast. Listen to the man that talks sports from football to basketball 24/7, 365. He is known as the average Joe that knows more than average about sports.
What's up, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Hubb.
What's up, everybody? Man, it's your boy Hubb, and it's Thursday, September 10th, 2020. This is season 3 of Hubb's Huddle Podcast. Man, it's been a long time since I talked to you guys, man. I think it's last time I was on was in June, man. So it's been a lot going on, man. Reflection, doing different things, man. I started a business and everything, man. Just it's awesome, man. But what we here for today, man. It's the start of the NFL season. We still got basketball going on. We're in the middle of the NBA playoffs. Let's start off with that. Got the Celtics and the Raptors. They played last night. The Raptors forced a Game 7. Game 7 will be played tomorrow. My thoughts on that. Everybody know I'm a Celtics Patriots fan, but I like to keep it real. But last night's game, to me, in my opinion, I felt like the refs was a little bit too involved in that Celtics Raptors game. But until they got to overtime, then it was, better. And, Boston going into a Game 7, I'm not really feeling too confident about that. The Raptors are the defending champions. Kyle Lowry had himself a game, man. He's been balling out, man, throughout these playoffs. It's carrying over from last year. They are the defending champions. You got to give them the respect that they deserve as the defending champions. Boston, on the other hand, they're going to need a big game from Kemba Walker tomorrow night if they have any shot of winning this game. I know some uncharacteristic things from Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown was on last night. They're going to need a better game from Tatum. They're going to need a better game from Kemba Walker. To move on to the Eastern Conference Finals, to take on the Miami Heat, who's just sitting there waiting after they beat the after they beat the Milwaukee Bucks. On the Western Conference side of things, last night the LA Clippers beat the Denver Nuggets, so then they lead that series 3-1. They got the LA Lakers on the other side, who got the Rockets tonight. They lead their series 2-1. For the Rockets, they're gonna need a game from Russell Westbrook. He's gonna have to compliment James Harden and be that 1-2 punch that he was brought there to be. As far as the Lakers go, they seem like they're starting to steamroll, man. Rajon Rondo had a game the other night, two nights ago, man, where I sat back and I was like, man, look like knuckle push up Rondo, man, from that Celtics Miami series. When they played the game and Rondo was having a game and he started doing the push up on his knuckles. That right there is instilled in my brain. Like I said, I'm a Celtics fan, but the Lakers are starting to steamroll. So is the Clippers. Look like it's gonna be a collision, matchup that we all expected to see, for the Western Conference Finals, with the LA Clippers and the Lakers, the Battle of LA at Disney. As far as the Raptors and Celtics go, my heart says, Celtics, my mind is like, man, it might be the Raptors. So I don't know. Let's see how it all plays out tomorrow night. Big game, Game 7 in the Eastern Conference semifinals, to move on to the ECF to take on the Miami Heat. Now moving on, man, to the most important part of the podcast, man. We love our football. We got football back. Man, it's week 1 already, man. We didn't have a preseason, so couldn't really gauge on, who's who and what everybody looks like. Oh man, this is gonna be great, man. The fans gonna be limited. I know Kansas City expected to have 17,000 tonight. That's very low compared to what they normally have, especially as they are the defending champions and it's opening night, and of course the special ceremony and everything else, the banner raising and all that good stuff. They're taking on the Houston Texans. Now, as far as the Texans go, man, basically it's like the same team they just played, in January. I mean, defensively, offensively, it's going to be a huge hit without no DeAndre Hopkins. We all know he got traded to the Cardinals during the offseason. So Kyler Murray gets a nice new weapon out there in Arizona to complement him and also to go along with the old man and Larry Fitzgerald still getting it done. But the Houston Texans, man, their secondary, man, that's still suspect. Against this Chiefs offense was high-powered Tyreek Hill and, Travis Kelce and company. They got a dual threat of Patrick Mahomes as well. I mean, Deshaun Watson, I really like Deshaun Watson. He's a dual threat as well. That dude can ball, man. But it's going to be a tough one for them, man, because, even though I still think the Chiefs defense isn't, as dominant as, some might think they are, but, Kansas City, they still got that potent offense, man, and you got to slow them down. And I don't think the Houston Texans got what it takes to slow down that offense. As far as that, and also in week 1, Kansas City has put up over 36 points for the 3 years in a row. I think they make it 4. So I'm looking at a score of give me a score of a 38-28 Chiefs over the Houston Texans. The Chiefs, start their season off right with a week 1 win. Houston, like I said, man, the secondary for me gives me trouble when I think about them. Offensively, I think, Deshaun Watson going to find a way to get it done. Will Fuller, we don't know if Brandon Cook's going to play tonight. He is a game time decision. So, we'll see how that shakes out. I think it's going to be a good game, but I think Kansas City wins by at least like 10 points to kick off the season. We had some big news coming out of the NFL yesterday with Jalen Ramsey becoming the highest paid cornerback in the league. And, I just hope the dude plays like he played when he was in Jacksonville. When he was in Jacksonville, he was the best cornerback in the game that 1 year. Right now, man, that's Stephon Gilmore's top to bottom. Let's see how Jalen Ramsey going to play. They got a matchup on Sunday night, opening up their new home against the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. But this season is going to be a lot different, man, because we have, some teams not going to have any fans for right now. Some teams are limited, like the Chiefs tonight are going to have 17,000. My thing personally to figure out is, who's going to be more prepared mentally and physically to withstand, to take that over. Because, sometimes when you look at certain games, like last year, for example, the crowd plays a heavy part in, our sport games in general, just like the NBA, which I like the NBA the way it looks now because these guys are flourishing. But as far as like the NFL goes, man, like these big open stadiums with no fans, I know they're going to pipe in some type of sound to see how things are going to, to try to help out these teams. But, when you got things like, like calling things at the line and having like 6 signals coming in from the sidelines, that kind of stuff right there, teams gonna have to do more like a more silent, hand signals type deal because we can hear you, So it's gonna be kind of it's gonna be weird to see on starting tonight, even though it's not that many people in attendance, but it's not like Kansas City, the whole stadium going to be rocking. It's not. You're going to be able to hear them actually on the field, doing things. It's going to be funny. You're probably going to hear the trash talk and everything now. So, which might be more exciting because you get to feel the game a lot more. Kind of like how basketball is. You get to hear these guys. Even they use a little profanity, like the mic goes like mute a little bit because they're saying certain things, but you get to hear these guys on the court actually like talking. So it makes me feel like, like I'm right here instead of listening to like 80,000 fans, just like screaming and hollering, at these, arena stadiums and all that. And you really can hear what's going on the court. Like basketball, it's phenomenal the way they put it together. Shout out to those guys putting it together, but looking at the NFL, it might be a little different, but it might be better. We never know. But as far as like, I'm just glad that it's back. We got week 1, Sunday's matchups, a lot of good games coming up on Sunday. You got the Buccaneers and the Saints. You got Breeze versus Brady. Of course, Tom Brady's in the new home. Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette in the new home. Cam Newton is in the new home in New England. They're taking on the division rival, the Miami Dolphins. You got the Philadelphia Eagles going up to FedEx Field to take on the Washington football team, formerly known as the Redskins. You got the Las Vegas Raiders making their debut as the Las Vegas Raiders. They'll be taking on the Carolina Panthers. You got the Colts and the Jaguars. You got the Browns and the Ravens. Going to be a good game as well because, it's a division game that the AFC North division, the black and blue division, that is going to be a good game. You got the Seahawks and the Falcons. You have the Packers and the Vikings. This is going to be a good week, man. Then you got the nightcap with the Cowboys and the Rams. Rams open up their new stadium. Let's see how things shake out. Dak Prescott looking for a new deal. So this is a big season for him. This is, it is a lot of things going on here that we looking at for this upcoming season. A whole lot of different storylines. I'm going to give a breakdown of who I got winning each division. I'm not ready to give a Super Bowl pick yet. I might be ready. I'll probably be ready on Sunday just to give a Super Bowl pick. Who I think is going to go to the Super Bowl and who's going to win. But let's go down for the NFC West. Let's start off with them. I got the 49ers repeating as the division champions. I just think, offensively, another year, Jimmy Garoppolo, he gets better. George Kittle, perhaps the best tight end in the game. San Fran still got that defense over there. They're good on both sides of the ball. Seattle's right there behind them as well. You can't discount, Russell Wilson, even though sometimes he blows my spreads for football bets, with those Seattle Seahawks. But as far as the NFC North goes, I'm going to roll with the Vikings this year. I think they're going to top the Packers. I know the Packers seem like they're flying under the radar this year. They still got Aaron Rodgers, still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But I think Minnesota, defensively, they're a lot better than what they were. See another year, Dalvin Cook running the ball. And let's see what the impact is on that offense without Stephon Diggs. Adam Thielen's going to have a nice season this year as the number one guy for Minnesota. The NFC East, it's between the Cowboys and the Eagles for me. I think the Redskins, they got a new, not the Redskins, the Washington football team. They have a new, coach and Riverboat Ron Rivera. Dwayne Haskins, his second full year playing, this is going to be his first full year of playing as a starting quarterback. They do got some weapons over there. I mean, they might make a little bit of noise over there as well. I do like, Chase over on that defense, man, that rookie, the boy from Ohio State. They have a pretty okay defense as well. It's going to be nice to see them too. But as far as that division go, it's always a flip a coin division, man. I would pick Philadelphia because I think that, it's going to come down to where the Cowboys might start off hot and be smoking, and then they somehow hit a wall for some reason. But I don't know. They got a new coach too, so they don't have the Clapper anymore. So he's not there. They got McCarthy, the former coach of the Green Bay Packers. But so you know what? I'm going to go with the Cowboys because they have a different coach now. So maybe they will be able to get over that hump, and maybe they will be able to go deep into the playoffs finally because they got the roster to do it. I mean, like right now, you got to look at the rosters now instead of like the home field and, with the crowd. Like Philadelphia, hands down, that division, they should win a division because their crowd is, what keeps them in the games. Like they're losing at halftime, the crowd boos them. They lose a game, the crowd boos them. Philly radio is lit, right after the game. But right now, you're not going to have that in the stadium, so I don't know how that's going to impact a team. So we got to look at rosters instead of, everything else that goes into it. So I'll pick the Cowboys. I'll change that pick to the Cowboys. The NFC South, and we all know, Tom Brady's in Tampa Bay. Got Gronkowski, got Fournette. Talking to a lot of guys, man. I'm thinking like, this kind of reminds me of like the year when Washington went like basically like all in. Sorry about that. It was kind of like that year that Washington went all in, and they brought in Dion. They still had Champ Bailey. They went ahead and brought in Bruce Smith. I believe that was the year they got Jeremiah Trotter too, or was that couple years later? One of those. But it was like they were doing a whole lot, and they spent a whole lot of money to go nowhere. I don't think Tampa Bay is going to be like that. I think they get into the playoff as like the wild card spot. But I think this is still the Saints division. I still think it's Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, that defense over there, with Cam Jordan, all them guys, man. I think this is still the Saints division until they are beat. So, I think Tampa Bay gets into the wild card slot, but I don't think they win a division. Moving on to the AFC. We start out with the AFC North. Hands down, man, it's Baltimore Ravens, man. I know Ben Roethlisberger back, but that division is going to come down to those two teams, and I think the Ravens are the better team in the division right now, and that has a lot to do with Lamar Jackson. That boy is bad, man. So hey. The Bengals gonna have rookie quarterback starting. The Browns, they got a lot of talent, but then they seem like they just don't know how to put it together. Roethlisberger back. Let's see how that all shakes out. With Juju and with Connor running the ball. Let's see what their defense looking like too. They defense started coming on strong as well. But I like Baltimore in this one. I think Baltimore edges out Pittsburgh in that division to take over the AFC North. The AFC West, no question about it, is the Kansas City Chiefs, hands down. They probably are the favorites, probably the repeated champions again anyway. But just looking at the division, I mean, the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Chargers. I mean, the Chargers got a different quarterback, and they're going to be rolling out with Tyrod Taylor. The Raiders, they moved to Las Vegas. They're still in the rebuild mode as well, and so is the Broncos. So I think this is going to be the Chiefs division, and I think this has turned into the AFC West has turned into what the AFC East is like. Basically, it's going to be hard games amongst the division games, but we know that the Chiefs are going to come out on top. Moving down to the AFC West, of course, you got the Patriots, the Bills, the Jets, and the Dolphins. I see many people picking the Bills for to win that division, and I understand why. But because, they got the nice, the young quarterback, they got the defense, with White, the corner over there. They have a good, they put it together on offense. But at the end of the day, man, you still ain't got the coach. And it's not me being a homer, it's me just being realistic, man. You gotta beat those guys up there in New England, man, to take it over, man. You can't just be, crowned it, during like the offseason, like all these other analysts. And we've seen it for the past couple of years now. They've been, talking up, the Buffalo Bills gonna be the team that's gonna win the division. Buffalo finished 10-6. New England finished 12-4 last year. I think, many people are doubting New England, and I think because of the fact that it's no more Tom Brady, and also, they had guys who had opted out due to the pandemic to not play this year, and they lost a couple key guys in free agency. But just because just to break it down a little bit, guys like Kyle Van Noy went to, Miami to go play with the Dolphins. But you had Chase Winovich, who was drafted in his spot to take over that position of what he does. So it's like, they drafted guys defensively to take over that. My only question for New England is how that offense is going to move forward. Like Cam Newton bringing a different dynamic to this New England offense, which means that he can move with his legs as well as throw the football. When we had Tom Brady, it was just basically like he stands in the pocket. Yeah, he used to scramble a little bit, but it was kind of like cringing every time he ran the ball because it's like, dude, you ain't got no business running the ball. But, they still got a good, solid defense over there. And defense wins you championships. So at the end of the day, New England still wins that division until you beat them. So I'm not just going to just crown Buffalo because that's the hot topic of the discussion right now. They got to go in there. They got to go beat New England, and they got to take over the division. So I'm picking New England. They were 5-1 in division last year. Buffalo was 3-3. The Jets was 2-4, and the Dolphins was 2-4 as well. I expect this to be a little bit more closer, but I think New England edges out the division. As far as the AFC South goes, Houston Texans, Tennessee Titans, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm liking the Titans here. I just think they're just a better team overall than what the Texans are. So it's just looking like I like them better. I think they run the ball well. Tannehill's playing smart, so I think that all carries over. Like I said, the Texans losing DeAndre Hopkins is going to be huge for the Texans, and also the Texans secondary is very questionable. So I'm picking the Titans to win that division. So my division lead winners for the NFC are the 49ers, the Vikings, the Cowboys, and the Saints. My AFC division winners are the Ravens, Chiefs, Patriots, and Titans. My wild cards for the AFC is going to be, I like the Buffalo Bills. We get an extra team now, with this playoff matchup. I'm liking the Buffalo Bills. I'm liking the Houston Texans, and I'm liking the Pittsburgh Steelers as wild cards. So I'll mark that down right now. Wild cards. So we going, as the season go on and as we get to the end of the year, we going to see where I'm at with my pick. So my wild card is Steelers, Buffalo Bills, and we like Tennessee Titans. No, not the Houston Texans. Got an extra wild card this year now. So for the NFC, I'm picking Seattle. Seattle gets in there. I like the Packers. You can't count on Aaron Rodgers. And I like Philadelphia. So those are my three wild cards for that. I'm not ready to pick my Super Bowl champion yet. I'll be ready on Sunday. We're going to save all this, get ready for Sunday. Last year, I finished with my picks, finished the regular season with my picks as 162, 93, and 1. So let's look, to build on that, have a better year this year than we did last year. And like I said, for today's game, I got the Kansas City Chiefs with a score of 38-28 over the Houston Texans. So that's it for me today, guys. I'll be back on Saturday to break down the remaining week 1 picks. You know how we do. It's always one game on one pick on Thursday. Then we do the remaining picks over the weekend to get us all set up to lock up our whole weeks of football. This is week 1. Got it in the books. Be back Saturday over the weekend to talk a little bit about the NBA, as well as give you the rest of the week 1 picks. So until next time, man, thank you all for listening. Keep rocking with me. We're back. This is the first episode of season 3. And until next time, man, it's your boy Hubb, and I'm out. Peace.